Welcome back. Let's spend a little time talking now about the investment life cycles. And what I mean by that is depending on what your goals are and what your age is, it's probably going to determine what types of goals that you're going to have. And what I mean by that is I'm going to use three different examples here. And I'm actually going to use my son Jacob. He is 20 years old. He's just joined the Air Force and starting to start saving some money. He's starting to make a little bit of money now. He can put some away. Well, his goals at this point, well, let me be realistic. His goals are not really thinking about retirement planning. He's thinking about what's that new car that he can buy, or what's the new motorcycle that he can get when he's back from boot camp. So his goals at this point, they're going to probably require him to have some type of savings account or checking account. And then he's got a lot of time left until retirement. I mean, 20 years old, he's like I said, he's not really thinking about retirement, although I keep beating it into his head. He's got 40 years left of working until he does actually transition into retirement. So what he could do is right now he could go out and take basically his entire portfolio could be in stocks that are aggressive, maybe like Teslas or Facebook or things that are going to be pretty volatile over the years. But it's likely that a company like that will be here 30, 40 years from now. So he can go out and afford to take a whole bunch of risk in order to get those big returns. If he has a big loss, that's okay. He's 20. He's got so much time to make it back that he's in good shape. As a matter of fact, if the market went through some volatility or through some correction years, he could look at that as a good thing. Because now he's putting money away while the market's low, so he's buying shares at that cheaper cost so that when the market does start to rise, his portfolio is going to grow along with it. Now, once you get into your, say, 40s, now I just turned 40 this year. Now, I'm not necessarily thinking about the day I'm going to retire, but my goals are much, much different than Jacob's are at this point. My goals, I'm starting to think about, well, what would happen to my family if something happened to me? Are they going to be okay? Are my kids going to have enough money to go to the schools they want? Are they going to be able to do the sports and enjoy the activities that they want? So I'm definitely going to look at some type of life insurance strategies. Now, I do have some planning going on for retirement, but I'm not being as conservative as someone that's closer to retirement. So I'm definitely taking a lot of risk. I've got a little bit of a safety net in my portfolio. I've got a good balance. I follow something called the rule of 100. So I've got about 40% of my portfolio in investments that aren't really going to fluctuate when the market does see a little bit of volatility. But the bulk of my portfolio, 60% of it, I'm taking quite a bit of risk. I've got 30 years probably until I retire. And if they can get me to retire at that point, I love what I do, so I may not even retire in my 70s. Now, if you think about my parents, they're both turning 66 this year. Their goals are going to be very different than mine at this point. Now, they've both worked their long careers. My mom worked at UPS for nearly 40 years. She got a great pension and some health insurance coverage when she retired from them for both mom and dad. Dad owned a business his entire life, and he was an entrepreneur. He did a very good job at saving for his retirement. Well, they've accumulated their nest egg. They've accumulated enough assets so that they could transition over into retirement. Well, they sure don't want to have the same goals as me. They definitely don't want to have the same goals as Jacob. So what they are doing at this point is they've got a portfolio that's about 65% of it is in a very safe environment. They're getting that guaranteed income, the guaranteed interest year after year. They don't have to worry about interest rate change. They don't have to worry about stock market volatility. But they've got some benefits that they can enjoy for now or 20 or 30 more years from now that they don't have to worry about running out of money. Now, with their securities portion, with the stocks, with the exchange-traded funds that they have in their portfolio, they're not geared towards growth at this point. They're more of a balanced portfolio. They don't want to see the big volatility. They don't need the big years anymore, as long as they never have any of the big down years. You know, if you're close to retirement, especially if you're within 10 years or so of that retirement date, you want to really look at your portfolio. Look at your 401k that you have. Look at the IRAs that you've opened throughout the years at the bank or maybe the credit union. And are these investments really the right tools to have in place if you're within 10 years of retirement? Most people, they don't really think about talking with a financial advisor until it's maybe 5 years away from retirement or 3 years away from retirement. The time to start planning is once you're about 10 years or so away from retirement. There's some strategies you'll start wanting to put in place long before you retire, because the market does move in cycles. Now, nobody has a crystal ball, but what goes up must come down. We do know that. And when the market is going through a correction, it's taken as long as 18 years to get back to even. So if you're within 10 years of retirement, you don't have time any longer to make up for that type of volatility. So give us a call at our office if you have any questions about the risk portion of your portfolio, or do you have enough conservative investments? Are you geared towards retirement, or are you geared still towards savings? We look forward to hearing from you.